Hello, hello. Welcome to your digital anchor chart for NBT6 and for 6NS2. So this is a division anchor chart. Basically, I'm going to show you two methods. And the fifth grade standard says that we can fluidly divide up to a 4-digit dividend and a 2-digit divisor. Okay, so we need to stop right there. What's a dividend and what's a divisor? So a dividend is the number that you are splitting apart. It's the number that goes inside the house in a division problem. So a dividend is, in this problem, the number inside the house. Okay? And a 2-digit divisor. A divisor, when I hear that word, I think of a razor. And I think of a razor because when we divide stuff, a lot of times we're splitting it into groups. So if I think of a razor, I think of that's the number that kind of cuts it up. So this divisor is the number outside the house. That's how many groups we're splitting it into, or it's how many are in each group. So depending upon the context of the problem. So we have okay, so going on, using at least one of the following methods, a strategy based on place value, the properties of operation, and or the relationship between multiplication and division. So basically what that means is that in fifth grade, if you can divide any way, shape, or form that you'd like using a equation, using a picture, using whatever method works for you, then that's fine. That's the goal in fifth grade, to understand the concepts of division and be able to get an answer to a problem that has a 4-digit dividend, up to a 4-digit dividend, and a 2-digit divisor. In sixth grade, the standard specifically states that you can fluently divide multi-digit numbers using the standard algorithm. So I'm also going to show you the standard algorithm. Because in fifth grade, you may choose your method, this may be the method that you choose to use, and you'll just be prepared all that more for sixth grade when you get there. So your choice. I do want to point out the word fluently in both the fifth grade and the sixth grade standard, which basically means that we want to be able to do it quickly and right every time. So that's something that we're going to have to work on, and I understand that. But I don't want you to be scared of these division problems. So while you can choose your method in fifth grade, any method that you'd like, I'm going to focus today on two methods, partial quotient and a standard algorithm. And I'm going to do the same problem using both methods so that you can see the relationship between the methods. All right. So in fourth grade, you probably learned about partial quotient, and you probably called this the big 7 because it looks like a big 7. All right. So when we use this method, we use our understanding of place value, and we basically take out chunks of this number until we get to the answer, or until we get to the quotient, or we have no remainder or a small remainder left. So when I use this method, I'm going to think about how many times does 25 go into 4,975. Now, I don't want to start with a chunk of 25. I'll be here all day long. I could do repeated subtraction, subtract 25 over and over and over again, but that's going to take forever, and that's certainly not going to be fluent. So I'm going to instead think of a large number, and I usually can do that starting with my powers of 10. So I can take 100. I dropped my marker. I can take 100 groups of 25 out to start off with. So I'm going to put my 100 to this side of the big 7. 100 times 25 is 2,500 or 2,500. And then I'm going to subtract. 5 minus 0 is 5. 7 minus 0 is 7. 9 minus 5 is 4. And 4 minus 2 is 2. So I'm left with 2,475. Now, I'm not going to be able to take out 100 again because 100 was 2,500. But what I do notice is this number right here, 2,475, is only 125 less than 2,500, because 2,500 minus 25 would be 2,475. So I can simply take out, instead of 100 groups of 25, I'm going to take out 99 groups of 25. Which is going to give me 25 less than 2,500, or 2,475. And then I'm going to subtract. I have no remainder, and I'm finished. I'm going to take my quotient, combine these numbers to get my quotient. 100 plus 99 is 199. Now, that is called, the answer to a division problem is the quotient. All right, so using the standard algorithm, this problem is actually not going to look very much different because this was pretty short. So this was a good problem to use partial quotient to solve. Using the standard algorithm, basically, instead of thinking about the whole number at one time, I'm simply going to think about a place, one or two places at a time. So I'm going to ask myself, does the 25 go into 4? No, 4 is smaller than 25. That does not divide. Does 25 go into 49? It does one time. So on top of the 9, I'm going to write a 1. Then I'm going to do 1 times 25 is 25. And I'm going to subtract. Now, I'm not worried about the other places yet. I'm going to deal with them one at a time in just a moment. So 49 minus 25 is 4. 9 minus 5 is 4. And 4 minus 2 is 2. And then I'm going to bring down the next place. So in this case, we have a 7. So I'm going to ask myself, how many times does 25 go into 247? Well, 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200, 225. That's 9 groups. If I go 10 times, I'm going to be at 250, and that's too high. So I'm going to put a 9 above the 7. 9 times 25 is 225. And I'm going to subtract. 7 minus 5 is 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. And I'm going to bring down my last digit, which happens to be a 5. Well, I just figured out that 25 times 9 is 225. So I'm just going to do that again. I'm going to put the 9 over the 5 because that's the digit that I'm dealing with. 9 times 25 is 225. So I'm going to subtract, and I have nothing left over. So my quotient is now the same for both problems. Notice that the only real difference that you have here is here you got the 25 with both zeros, and here you just have the 25. The zeros are implied, but we just don't have to write them down when we do the standard algorithm. So that's an overview of division. These are just 2 of the methods that you can use. If you want to multiply up, you certainly can do that, but it does get difficult when you get to very large numbers. So hope this helps. Watch as many times as you need to. It will be here as a reference for you. Bye, guys. Good luck.